Daemon is a man with stunning looks, a daring attitude, and an air of danger and villainy. On the other side, Jon Snow is a man of honor, a warrior willing to do anything to achieve his goals, and the king in the north. Bring the two together in a battle, and you have the perfect catalyst for total disaster and the potential annihilation of the other from the face of the Seven Kingdoms. But who would come out as the winner? We didn't think of this question, but a die-hard fan of the show and the ever-growing Game of Thrones universe asked none other than Matt Smith, the actor who perfectly animated the vicious Daemon Targaryen. And his response shocked everyone in the room. It took a while to sink in and perhaps make some sense to the audience filled with awe. If you are a lackluster for healthy competition, then this video isn't for you, because Matt Smith made it clear who would win in this battle of strong-willed and equally capable Targaryen fighters. The bloodlines of the Targaryens have started to make their way to the big screens with the successful release of the House of the Dragon. Daemon Targaryen turns out to be a strong member of the house, and is the brother of King VISERYS I Targaryen and the son of Prince Baelon Targaryen. Daemon was the most skilled fighter of his generation, wielding the Valyrian steel blade Dark Sister. Daemon, a dragon rider whose dragon's name was Caraxes, declared himself the king of the Stepstones, as well as the Narrow Sea. He was a vocal supporter of his wife Rhaenyra during the Dance of the Dragons. House Targaryen has created both brave warriors and monsters throughout the millennia. Prince Daemon possessed both qualities. There was no one in Westeros who was more adored, loved, and vilified in his day. He was made up of equal parts light and darkness. To some fans, he was a hero, but to others, he was the most heinous of villains. If Daemon sounds like more of a villain than Jon Snow, then it would be of Jon Snow's honorable attitude. But don't let that downplay his fighting prowess and just about how vicious he could be. Jon's true bloodline was hidden from him as a child to protect him from the powers that sought the total annihilation of the Targaryens. But after years of being called a bastard son of Lord Eddard Stark, later Jon discovers his actual ancestry from Samwell Tarly, who reveals Daenerys is his aunt. A dragon rider whose dragon was Rhaegal. He battles in the Battle of Winterfell when the Night King is destroyed and the Long Night's return is averted. Following that, Jon assists Daenerys in her relaunched quest for the Iron Throne and takes part in the Battle of King's Landing. When Daenerys raises a surrendering King's Landing, Jon attempts but is unable to persuade her to stop the bloodshed and assassinates her to stop it. That is who Jon Snow is, the man with the true North in his blood, full Targaryen and a former warrior in the Watch. If his profile doesn't frighten you, then nothing else would. Perhaps Daemon should shudder, but Matt Smith doesn't seem to give that impression as he engages a die-hard fan of Jon Snow. Daemon Targaryen, who was played by Matt Smith, has become one of the most well-known characters in the House of the Dragon cast. He has been cast in a character that mimics Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. He's the character that snarkily deconstructs the things that everyone else is involved in. Also, Daemon is a one-of-a-kind character in the House of the Dragon world. While he is certainly House of the Dragon's protagonist, he is also probably its antagonist, and it's not always evident where he stands on the good-bad spectrum. That isn't to imply Daemon is a hero. He has also done several horrific things during the series. Matt Smith recently attended the Heroes Comic-Con Brussels 2022, and his response was surprising for many. There, the actor was asked if Daemon existed during Game of Thrones and what his relationship with Jon Snow would have been, especially after he murdered Daenerys Targaryen in the 8th season of Game of Thrones. Matt Smith replied with the shocking revelation, "I don't think Jon Snow would survive very long." Although he did respond in the manner that Daemon would have, fans are unsure whether any better replies could have existed. When answering this question, there are several variables to consider, and those vary depending on who you ask. What are your thoughts on Matt Smith's statement in this regard? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to subscribe for more details on Game of Thrones.